Inside the jungles of Ecuador exists a cave that many experts have been seeking. The cave is so intriguing, it has brought the Travel Channel's Josh Gates on the hunt for this lost metal library. Spurred in a 1969 expedition by Janos Juan Maurice, who was said to have found a metal library inside a cave in Ecuador that housed mounds of gold, sculptures, and a metal library. Inside this library was written inscriptions that were not of any known language, and the purpose behind these metal books are still unknown. What has fueled the mystery further was Father Crespi. He befriended local tribes on the area who spoke about this cave and provided him very large tablets, plates, doors, which held drawings of pyramids that mimicked those from Egypt. What is fascinating and wondering how this could be possible is that from these finds it exposes an ancient known tribe who held knowledge of civilizations that were oceans away. After the expedition in 1969, led by Maurice, another expedition was headed that also included the astronaut Neil Armstrong, surprisingly. This cave has held a strong presence amongst experts and academia and the want to find the truth. In this expedition with Neil Armstrong that occurred in 1976, it was held on a more grander scale that included more academic experts, Ecuadorian military personnel, and British cavers who wanted to conduct a detailed mapping of the cave. This expedition was known as the BCRA expedition, which did find the cave, but they were not sure if they searched deep enough. The context of the metal library, its history and search should be delved a bit further. The first individual who made this cave's secrets exposed was Father Crespi. What is interesting about what he held in his possession was the fact that another tribe knew of the whereabouts of the cave, and also holding possession of the secrets of the cave. Father Crespi befriending the tribe and reflecting a positive inquiry into their history, the tribe took it upon themselves to reveal what they have found. The objects that were in Father Crespi's possession were really fascinating, providing him gold doors, tablets, with an odd language, but most importantly, sculptures and art that contain imagery found only in ancient Egypt and that within the ancient Sumerians. What should be noted is the time in which this occurred. Widespread knowledge as well as capabilities to house so many artifacts is very unlikely. To live in a remote place with no care or want to expose the artifacts that were provided to him gives an interesting inquiry into proving the validity of the objects. With proving the validity, many experts, scientists, academics visited Father Crespi's location and his museum to look into and focus on these objects. And surprisingly, with many of focus and many of research done, none of the objects were found to be false. However, unfortunately, just as mysterious as the tribe, Father Crespi and his artifacts, an unfortunate fire burned down the museum which destroyed much of the artifacts. It is interesting the historical value of this place, but the remembrance of how a common understanding of stories, gods, and knowledge is shared amongst cultures of the world. If scientists could uncover more from this cave, it could shed light into just how cultures oceans apart could share the same engineering knowledge. The language that was found in this cave mimics what was found on the Voynich manuscript, as well as what is found in ancient Egypt and with the ancient Sumerians. With this cave in Ecuador, it has spurred 3 expeditions and countless manpower to uncover the secrets that have happened within. The knowledge is there, and from what has existed in this cave could be found again. What is to remember is that though we live in a modern world, there are tribes that still exist with no idea there is such a modern world around them. Just as they live in this way, they hide their secrets and knowledge to themselves. One lucky person that was made privy to the secrets that existed in this jungle was that of Father Crespi. The picture that Father Crespi took with these artifacts helped us see that these artifacts did in fact exist and did hold value to the tribe that showed it to him, and also brought him many of what they already had. Knowing these artifacts were tied to a tribe from long ago, they only felt this connection could help bring awareness of the history of the civilization behind these works. What should be remembered about this exchange is that tribes of this area give gifts as a thank you or show of peace. These tribes held on to these artifacts that they felt would be received in good faith. With the disappearance of the rest of the artifacts, it only furthers the study and research into this location as much of its history behind this lost civilization. With so many connections made from what we know and have, there should be more focus on the sculptures and finding more examples from around the world and ancient societies it has been tied to. What is most intriguing about these finds and this story is that it shows us another example of an ancient society with knowledge shared amongst cultures far away, and maybe within this cave could be the Rosetta Stone to what has brought all of these cultures together.